Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Alana. I am Mrs.SmithStitches here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. You can reach me by email at mrs.smithstitchesflosstube@gmail.com and welcome. I'm so glad that you're here with me to spend a little bit of time chatting about cross stitch. This channel is all about my stitching and that's it. A little bit about my life, mostly about stitching. Welcome back and welcome if you are new. It has been a bit since I've filmed. I think it was August 1st, the last time that I filmed. I had grand plans to film on September 1st and then again on October 1st, and that did not happen. Today is October 12th. It's Saturday. It is the Saturday of our Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada. I live just south of Ottawa in Ontario here. And as per usual, life just got away from me. I have all these plans to stitch. Well, I have all these plans to film, and then I end up, getting distracted by work and whatnot. But I'm here today with quite a bit of stitching and haul and plans and a little bit of everything, a giveaway. I got a little bit of everything today. So let's just jump right in. I will give you a little bit of a life update. Nothing super exciting has happened in the last couple of months, except I have a new position at work, which is exciting. It doesn't start till December. But, so those of you that don't know, I work as a clerk in a hospital just in a little town about 20 minutes from where I live, my little town. And I have been part-time there for quite a few years. I've been at the hospital since 2020. So, and I've only ever sort of worked part-time. And I actually just this week accepted a full-time position there. In the ER. So what I do now is sort of like a clerk of various units is what they call it. So I work everywhere. I register in the ER and DI in our ambulatory care clinics. I book like mammograms and ultrasounds and cardiac testing and all of that stuff. Surgical registration. I do kind of like everywhere. You kind of end up everywhere, which is super interesting. And I really have enjoyed it. The downside of that is it's a lot of last minute shifts, a lot of last minute call-ins, because often, like I do have some that are booked ahead, but often it's covering sick time or that kind of stuff. And I have found just in the last couple of years, I just am not loving not having a bit of a set schedule. Like obviously shift work is never going to have a completely set schedule, but this job that I accepted is actually full-time in the emergency room. So I will work there only. I will only ever be in the ER now. And it is shifts and it is holidays and weekends and all of that, but it is set. So basically my basic shift will be, I'll work 2 days, 2 nights and have 5 off. And then I'll work 2 days, 2 nights and I'll have 6 off. And then I'll just keep going. So while it's still a little bit of a crazy schedule, it's like something I can plan quite far in advance with. And I don't really mind the shifts. I do quite like the 12s because I like the days off. I like having that sort of chunk of time off. So I'm pretty excited about it. It doesn't start till December. So for now, I actually am ending up with quite a bit of, because we're in a bit of a like in between for me. So I actually have quite a bit of days off in the next little bit. Like I still am working, but I actually have quite a bit of time off. So I'm hoping that that will equal more stitching. I do have plans to film again in a couple of weeks because I do have a trip planned. So I am going to Hobby House. Hobby House is just a little bit, not quite 4 hours from me. Like I think it's like 3 hours and 40 minutes from my house here. And I am meeting up with some people that I met at Stitch North. So this is going to be really fun. So we are meeting on the Wednesday. There is a retreat on the Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So three actually, there's another lady going that I just met over a Zoom call. So 3 of them are going to the Hobby House retreat. One is actually going to the Stitch North retreat in October, like the October Stitch North retreat. And I'm going to none of the retreats. I'm just going to have fun. So we are going to be there for 2 nights. And we're just going to shop and have fun. And we are staying at that Woodcliff Hotel, whatever the hotel is that all the hobby house people stay at. We are staying at that hotel. We got some rooms there, and I'm super excited. I have never been to hobby house, even though it isn't super far from me. I've never gone. It's far enough that you kind of want to stay over, but it's significantly more fun to go with friends. So I am very, 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 very much looking forward to it. And we had a Zoom call. What's today? Saturday. So we had a Zoom call on Thursday night, just a couple nights ago, with all of us that are going. And everybody was talking about like lists and stuff. And I was like, I really need to get on what it is that I want to bring and what it is that I want to look for. But I haven't done that yet. I have a few things I'll show you later that I'm going to start there. I'll show that in the like new starts in the plans. But as for a list of what I'm like wanting to buy, I don't really have that yet. So that is this weekend's job. Okay. I think I'm going to start, just sort of jump into finishes. I have a couple finishes. You will see back here. I'll take it off at the end of the video so we can I'll show it to you like properly, but this is my big finish. This is my framed finish. I have showed it before. It is the Little House Nina Works Little House Neighborhood. I did go have it framed at Michael's. I was super happy with it. If you live in my general area, I had it framed at the Michael's in Brockville. I've heard really good things about that. The girl that works there seemed to know exactly what she was talking about. And I was pretty happy with it. So at the end of the video, I'll take it off and like give you a little bit of a closer up view of it. I was super happy. So if you're in the general area, Brockville Michael's is a win for framing. So I'm going to go over a couple of little finishes I have, and then I'm going to go into my WIPS. I have a fair bit of haul because it's been a bit. And, oh, I forgot to talk about my trip. I went to PI, Prince Edward Island, if you are not Canadian. And I met up with Michelle, who is one of the two Bay Stitchers. They have a floss tube here. And she is Bay City Stitcher 70 on Instagram. I'll link their channel and her actual Instagram down below. So my husband and I went for a trip like mid-September. I had actually never been to PEI, which is crazy. My husband has been quite a few times, and we had so much fun. It's a beautiful island. If you ever get a chance to go, it's absolutely gorgeous. We already have plans to go back next year. It was really fun. Michelle and I got to meet for lunch, which was really fun. And we talked and talked. Like we met at like 1 or 12:30 or like lunchtime. And like the next thing we looked at our watches and it was like 5. We're like, wow, okay, we're going to be here for dinner too. And I had left my husband like wandering around Charlottetown, like he had driven me. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I should go. We had so much fun. If you ever get a chance to visit, it was awesome. No, I did no stitchy shopping there. I did, however, find this candle that I am going to show. And this is what it says. It says, please leave by 9 p.m. I have a running joke with a couple of my girlfriends. It smells delicious. I don't know what the scent of it is, but it smells like absolutely wonderful. Kind of citrusy. And I have a couple of friends. I have a group of girlfriends that will come over for a visit, and everybody leaves at a like relatively normal time, right? Like we all leave, and then there's 2, and they know who they are. And I know one of them watches my videos, even though neither of them stitch. And there was this one night, they leave very late. They're night owls, so they leave very late. And there was this one night that it was like 2 a.m, and I had literally just laid, like I have like a sectional, and I just laid on my couch with a blanket, and I was like, you guys aren't leaving. And so that has sort of been an ongoing joke that they don't leave. And that night they happen to fall down the stairs. Anyway, long story short, I saw that candle and I had to buy it, and I sent it to them, and I'm like, look, I'm going to burn this every time you guys go over. Anyway, so I thought that was super cute. That completely non-stitching related, but adorable. The PI has the greatest little like cutesy shops, which I love. Anyway, okay, we're definitely getting sidetracked here. Oh, and my door's gonna bang. I have my windows open. It's an absolutely gorgeous day here. Fall is finally sort of settled in. The leaves are starting to change. It has been outrageously warm here in the last little bit for us. And today I feel like it's finally, my collar's up. I just realized that I basically matched my background. Like this green is almost the exact same color as my wall. Sorry about that. but it's beautiful. I've got the candle going. I've got like the fall. I have no plans for today. We are not hosting until Monday. So we have no plans for today, which is lovely. I'm just like doing laundry and cleaning and getting organized and thinking about what I'm going to bake for Monday. And stitching, which is fun. I had planned to stitch this video or film this video like a couple weeks ago, probably the 1st of October, because I knew I missed September. And so I had ironed everything and like put it on the back of this chair. So I had everything ironed and ready like 2 weeks ago. And so I haven't touched any of I've been working on other stuff, and I'm going to wait and show that in another video. But I haven't touched any of this, all my fall stuff. And I was on the Zoom call and they're like, how's your birthday start going? And I'm like, I haven't touched it in 2 weeks because I didn't want to have to re-iron it and I couldn't get my stuff together to film. So there. Sorry, I feel like I'm a little bit rambling today. Sorry about that. Okay, my first finish is actually a Christmas finish. So I'm going to show you them individually. So here we go. These are from, oh, I need one of those little boards. I'm going to have to get one of those. These are Allison, a new creation studio. She has an Etsy store. I will link them below. They're PDFs. She did like a Christmas in July, and there's a set of 4, and I don't think I can hold them all up at once. So I'm going to show them individually. So, and I'm going to forget their names. So here's a set of 4. Now I did these on 36 count, just Weigart, but I did use silk. I used a 103 because if you live local to me, Tyme in Ottawa has a full, has the full Averiswa 103s, the full set of them. So I decided I wanted to try silk. I did really, really like it. When I was there, Gwen, who is Curling Stones and Cross Stitches, X Stitches, Curling Stones, I'll link her too. She said I'd probably like it better on 40. She was correct. This is 36, but honestly, they turned out really cute. They really did. But I think if you're going to use the silk, I would too do a 40. I'm planning on turning them into little ornaments. I haven't done that. I'm not a great finisher. I don't really finish at all. So, so I had those done. Those were finished. I never post them on Instagram. I'm going to try to get them all finished into ornaments and then post. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm not a great Instagrammer. That is not my... That isn't my strong suit, is keeping stuff up to date on Instagram. Okay, so that was finish number 1. Actually, all my finishes are Christmas finishes today. So my next finish is going to be the Prairie Schooler Santa. So this is 2002. So I decided this year that I was going to do a Prairie Schooler for each of my grandkids. So I did 2002, 2003, and 2004 because I have the 3 all born in a row. And I stitched these on, it's 32 count. I bought it at Tyme. It's just as Weigart, like natural maybe. I did not iron these, so my apologies for that. So here we go. It's so cute. I am tempted to put their names and the date down below, but I haven't done it yet. So I'm thinking about it. So I haven't done that yet. So this is my grandson's. It's so cute. I had planned to turn them into ornaments, but I think they're going to be a bit big. I did them on 32 count because I wanted them kind of like poofier than if you would do them on like a 40 or a 36. But now I feel like they're a little big. So I don't know how I'm going to finish them. But, okay. And so then I'll show you, this is the 2023 one, which is Snowy Night. So cute. And here we go. So cute. So this is for my first granddaughter. It's so sweet. And then the 2022 is Noel. Or sorry, the 2024. The 2024 is Noel. Oh, that was so cute. And I have them all done. So here is Noel. And it looks super sweet. Now this one I changed a little bit. So you'll see in the pattern, all of the trees are backstitched. Backstitching isn't my favorite. It just isn't. I don't always love it. And so I took the trees that were squared off and I backstitched them. And then I actually added the trunks. The trunks? Yeah, the trunks to them in a brown. I just picked a brown from my stash that looked like a tree trunk. I don't remember which one it was. But I thought that kind of gave it a little bit more dimension. And then anything like the leaves up here or any of the trees that I would have had to do like a half or a quarter stitch, because I really like to avoid those, I just did those in the back stitching. And I thought it turned out pretty cute, actually. I quite like it. The entire heart is wrong, but I don't think you can tell. It's like wrong. Like I missed a stitch. I don't know what I did to it, but it's wrong. And so those are my finishes. So that's what I finished since the last time I chatted with you guys. So now I'm going to jump into my start. Some of them are new starts actually, and some of them are WIPs. So I'll start with my new starts. So my first new start is going to be the start that Michelle and I did in PI. Well, we didn't start it in PI technically. We were going to, and then I forgot all my floss. So Michelle lovingly gifted this to me for my birthday. So this is Feels Like Fall by Brenda Gervais. It's one of the new releases that she just had out. So she gifted that to me along with, hang on, let me see if I can make this happen. Along with this beautiful bag, which is from Sheba Designs. Isn't it so cute? I love it. And I knew that. She actually told me ahead of time. So I knew, and I had pre-ordered all of the floss needed because there was a list of the floss. She ordered, I think she ordered from the Colorado Cross Stitcher. Brenda Gervais stuff's a bit hard to get in Canada, but Colorado Cross Stitcher does deliver to Canada. So if you're ever in need of certain things, they do. And so I ordered all the floss from Knowledge and Needles, which is in Brighton, Ontario. Her name is Anne McDonald that runs that store. And then it all came in wonderful time. Anne is fantastic. And then I forgot to bring it with me. All the stuff that I packed, I forgot. I forgot to bring that. I brought the fabric, but I didn't bring the floss. So we did not start it. But I do have a start on it. I am using all of the called for. I'm stitching it on 36 count Ren because I actually had just a piece of Ren that was left over from, I think this one is left over from, I don't remember now. It was a remnant. And so here we go. Michelle's already finished. So my goal, I'll show you a few fall things, and my goal is to spend the next 2 weeks just stitching on those and trying to get them done. There isn't, like if you look at the pattern, there is not a ton left. That won't take me very long. So my goal is to really get this done. This one and my birthday start. So I'll show you my birthday start next. But it turned out really cute. I really like it. I really like the fabric. I like Ren. I feel like Ren is just it's a nice fall fabric. So I'm going to try to put everything back in its bags. We'll see as I go along. Because usually I end up with just a pile of stuff on the floor beside me that then I have to take the time. So I'm going to try to get everything in its bags. We'll see. Okay, so my next is my birthday start, which is Sampler Seasons Autumn by Blueberry Ridge. Let me see if it's gonna, I've switched my filming. So I used to face that way and it was really glary because I have two big windows in this room, and I switched it to film this way, and I think it's a little bit less. I actually think it's working better. We'll see what it looks like on a bigger screen. I film on my phone, but so this is Sampler Season Autumn by Blueberry Ridge Designs. And this is my progress. I did iron this too, and it doesn't look like it ever saw an iron. Look at that. There we go. We'll turn it this way. Oh, nice. It's fun. I really like these monochromatic. Like I am absolutely loving stitching this. I did start this on my birthday, which was September 18th, and I did start it on PI. Like I started it on the island at our Airbnb that we rented right by the ocean. It was so nice. Oh my gosh. It's so nice there. So I am stitching this on hand dyed by Rolanda Ivory linen, 40 count. So I did pick this linen up when I was at Stitch North. She was a vendor there. I picked up a few of her linens actually. This is the first time that I have stitched. The rest I sort of just have in my stash. I love it. It's a beautiful linen. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I am stitching it on with, let's see, what's this? Pumpkin Pie by Gentle Arts. So the called for was Weeks Dye Works Rust. But the store that is local to me has the full line of gentle arts. So I convert a fair bit to gentle arts, to be honest. I just find it's a little bit easier. Weeks isn't my favorite floss to work with, I'm finding. I have ordered some, like, Feels Like Fall has some weeks in it. There's a few other ones that I'm working on that do as well. It's just not, I don't know why. It's not my favorite. But anyway, so I convert a lot. So the next one, my next WIP is actually my birthday start from last year that I haven't finished, but it's on my list. These 3 things are on my list to finish before the 31st of October. We'll see, but I don't see why I can't, honestly. Like, I should be able to. So my birthday start from last year was Mighty Acorns by Blackbird's Design. And I have just loved this chart since the instant I saw it. I think the first time I saw it was Olivia of Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. And I just love it. Like, absolutely everything about it. And then my friend Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W., she changed the house to dolphin. And I don't know if it's a Weeks. Is it Weeks dolphin? Hang on. Let me check. I have it in here. I have all my floss. I never show my floss. Yes, Weeks dolphin. I don't know. That doesn't show up at all. Okay. I'll show it this way. And I loved it. I loved that blue house. So it's like a bluey gray, honestly. I think if I'm going to film against this window, I'm going to need to get one of those boards though. And so here's where I'm at here. And honestly, like, in comparison, I don't have a ton, like, I have the border and stuff, but the house was kind of the big piece there. And I've got all the leaves, the big leaves on the tree. So there's not a ton left. I really like the squirrels though. Like, I loved this. And it's super, super close. So I am going to buckle down in these next couple of weeks. And I am hoping that the next time that I film, that I'm going to have them done. Those 3. And I have a couple new starts planned for when I go away. And then after November is just Christmas. Like, I'm just stitching Christmas. I'm not even going to try. Oh, wait, I found one more I want to finish. I lied. I'm going to try to finish this one today. Because I don't have any plans for today except cleaning and planning. I have bought all my groceries except, like, I need to go get some produce and stuff. And I need to get, like, fresh bread and stuff for Thanksgiving dinner. Other than that, and I need to bake. You know when you feel like you don't really have anything to do and then all of a sudden you add up all the things that you have to do and it's like a lot more than you thought. And it is, oh, it's only 1. It's only 1 in the afternoon. That's not too bad. So this, I'm actually going to try to finish today. I think I can do it because it feels like I should. And this is the Bent Creek Gobble. Look at how stinking cute is that. Now, I took this with me to PEI thinking that I was going to try to stitch in the car because it's about 12 hours, give or take, from our house to that place that we were staying. I did stitch a little bit because I always thought I couldn't stitch in the car because I would get car sick. But when I take the train back and forth to Toronto, I can stitch no problem. And it's kind of like you're pretty wobbly. Like, some of these trains are not, they're old. And I stitched no problem. Like, for the full 4 hours I could stitch and it didn't bother me. I don't know, the car, it was really sunny the day that I was trying. And so I was like, I don't know. I can't stitch with my sunglasses because they're like polarized because they're prescription. And I don't know. Anyway, I couldn't. I did a handful of stitches. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to end up feeling yucky. And then I still have another like 7 hours left to go. So anyway, long story short, didn't do any stitching while I was there on this. But it is super close. So I do believe, that's weird, I don't have a needle on this. Usually I tuck a needle somewhere. Okay, well, I might have to find a new needle. That is one thing I'm buying at Hobby House. I am absolutely, I feel like I have no needles. I don't know where they've all gone, but I have like 28 left and that's it. So this I am going to try to work on today. Oh, I haven't been saying, I'm so bad at this, you guys. I haven't been saying what I've been stitching on or what fabric, nothing. This is, I don't know. It is a 32 count. I'm using 2 strands. And I'm using all the call forward colors, which is pretty much all DMC. I think I have a handful. It's 2 fancy flosses and that's it. And this was just, it is a 32 count. I have absolutely no idea. I think it's a remnant from something else that I had. So give me a minute and I will go back and let you know. Hang on. Let's see. Let's see what else I'm stitching on. Okay. So I know Winds of Autumn is on Wren because the Feels Like Fall is the other half of that. So it's Wren. It is most of the called for, except the house. And I think I substituted a couple of fancy flosses for DMC because I couldn't get at the fancy flosses. But for the most part, it's a combo. But it is either the called for or it's the DMC conversion of the called for because Blackbird always gives both. And it is on 36 count Wren. I think I already talked about that one. Okay, maybe that was the only one I didn't mention. Okay, I fibbed. I mentioned. Okay, so those 4. See, I get into the habit of filming and then I just ramble on and on and on. All my thoughts come out of my head at the same time. So I apologize for that. Those 4 I'm going to try to finish for my next video. So I am going to try to film at the beginning of November. So a couple of weeks, maybe 2.5, 3 weeks from now, because I want to tell you all about my trip to Hobby House. It's so exciting. And I can't wait till like Christmas to do that because then we've moved on. This is the fall trip to Hobby House, so I have to do that. Okay, my next WIP that I have worked on in the last little bit is another Blackbird, and it is Midnight Watch. And I also believe I was enabled by Olivia of Pumpkin Hollow Quilts because she stitched this and it was like, love it. I absolutely loved it. And here is my progress on that. Now, you can't really see the moon. I did change the moon color. Everything else is the called for. And I did change the color of the moon because it called for, let's see, what did it called for? I don't even think I have it here. I changed it to White Lightning by Weeks. White Lightning, yeah. So I changed it to, here. Well, that doesn't really show it either. Because it was very yellowy and I, honest to goodness, have zero idea what fabric I'm doing this on. But it's a very yellowy fabric. And it didn't show. The moon color, which I love, love, love. So I tried to pick something that was pretty variegated, and White Lightning is it's more gray and white as opposed to yellowy gray. But I think it's turning out pretty well. I don't know what this fabric is at all. I'm very bad to write these things down. Very, very bad. I know it is not the called for. I know it is a 36 count. And that's all I know. And I will not get this done by Halloween. That I also know, but I did get some stitches in on it and I really love it. So I do hope that it'll get picked up for next year. When I was sort of rearranging my craft room a little bit, I was going through the patterns that I do have. I am not one to keep a massive stash of stuff to do. And I'm also not really one usually to keep a ton of kitted projects, but I feel like I'm leaning a little bit more towards having stuff kitted and ready to go, mostly because I don't have access to an LNS and it's kind of nice to just be able to grab something and know everything's in there. So I do have a lot of fall things that I've purchased over the years that I'm a little bit sad that I haven't started. So I think sort of in the spring of next year, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to try to get rid of, like not get rid of, finish some of these, and then sort of kit up so they are just ready to go. Another thing is when I feel like I have too many projects on the go, I feel like there's a lot of threads in there that I could be using for another project, but I don't want to unkit. Like I'd like to get some of these complete. So especially some of the more specialty threads that can be pretty pricey. It's kind of nice to be able to, if I've only used a little strand or two, nice to be able to move them into a different project. Another thing that I have done since the last time I videoed was make a bunch of project bags. So this is actually one of the ones that I made. I followed the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch tutorial. Very easy. I am not a spectacular sewer by any stretch of the imagination. My bags aren't the prettiest, but This one has a really cute little inside. Her tutorial is incredibly easy to follow. And so I have made a couple. I think I made like 8 or 9 of them. I just literally went to a quilt store and bought a bunch of fat quarters. It seemed like the easiest way to do it. 2 fat quarters make 1 bag. And then the last time I was in the States, I actually went to Joann's and bought the vinyl that she uses. Our Fabricland here, I couldn't find the vinyl that was not, I couldn't find any that was that sort of texture. And so I have made a few bags. I'm trying to think. A couple of these ones. I made this one too. This is my birthday star bag. You can't see it now because I put it away, but so I've done a few. I've bought a few. I do like the vinyl front ones. So those seem to be, I don't think I will continue to make bags. Like I have some more vinyl left, so I'll probably make a few more. I'm kind of waiting. The plan was Tuesday to go into, this coming Tuesday, it was to go into Watertown, which is the closest spot for me, like the closest like city that has like Target and Hobby Lobby and Joann's and all that stuff, and get some stuff. But I was going with a friend of mine and now she's not sure she can go. So I'm on the fence whether I'm going to go or not, because I am going to Hobby House the next week and I don't know if I need 2 shopping trips. I mean, I probably do, but I really wanted to go for like fall clothes for the kids because I just find like the Walmart, our Walmart is like the little American Walmart when you cross in Ogdensburg. Nicest Walmart, like the nicest Walmart for kids clothes, and they're all like $2 or $3, like little leggings, little shirts, and little joggers, and little. It's so cute. Like Canadian Walmarts don't have the really cute clothes. They just don't. They're getting better, but it's like double, triple the price. So my plan was actually to go into just to go kids shopping. We'll see. I don't know if I'll end up doing it, but I will probably pick up a few more bits of fabric. I'd like to make a few more fall bags and a few more Christmas bags because those are the things that I don't really have bags for. And then a couple more like just sort of generic, summery, samplery kind of bags. So I have enough stuff besides fabric. I have enough vinyl and like batting, fusible fleece or whatever they call it, fusible whatever. I'm not a sewer, obviously, to make probably 6 or 8 more bags. So that's probably what I'll just probably buy enough and finish it off. And then if I need more bags, I'm just buying them because it's not really my thing. Like even finishing, I don't know. I feel like it just takes away time from my stitching. I don't love it. I don't love the sewing aspect of it. So I'll just buy them. I'll just buy them from other people who are much, much better sewers than I am. Okay. WIP number, I've lost track. I didn't even count. I have no idea. Is my Canadian Sampler by Erin Elizabeth Designs. This was my Stitch North start. And I love it. I love it. There isn't a ton of just sort of Canadian stuff, especially when we're in like the summer, like July and June, and everybody's stitching all this beautiful patriotic stuff. And it's like, there isn't a ton. Erin Elizabeth has some fantastic stuff. And so this is my, so far, Canadian Sampler. I did get a decent amount done at Stitch North, and then I did take a couple of days and I started on that roof. Now I will put this away now until the spring, most likely. It probably won't come back out. I am stitching this on 40 count lamb's wool, I believe. And I did my own conversion. It is a Gentle Arts conversion. I went to Wool Tyme and so Wool Tyme has all the DMC. So I pulled all the DMC and then I just picked Gentle Arts. There isn't very many threads. I just picked Gentle Arts that would go with. That looked like the DMC is basically what I did. Ow. That has a needle sticking out of it. Like, look at that right there. See? Okay, this is why we tuck our needles away. There we go. Stop myself. Okay, we're gonna put that one away before I cause more damage. And this was actually a bag that I made for Stitch North. I even found little things. Aren't they cute? So that's what I did for my table gifts for the Stitch North retreat, is I gave everybody a bag. My not very well made bags, but it's the thought that counts. So I don't think I will do that this year. I have no idea what I'll do this year for table gifts. I haven't thought that far ahead. It's not, I'm going to Stitch North weekend too, and it's not until May. So I have lots of time. Okay, WIP number, whatever, we're on now. Let me see. So it is Teresa Kogut, and it is Let Love Rain, which is absolutely beautiful. I was watching some Flosstube this morning, and I watched Christy Crosshatch Quilts. She had put out a new one. I don't know, like it was relatively recently. I have not been watching a ton of Flosstube lately, and today I just like binged all kinds. And she's actually doing this one too, and it's so pretty. We're almost at the same, she's a little farther along than me, but we're almost at the exact same spot. And so here we go. I'm gonna have to move out of the way here. And there you go. I'm stitching it on 40 count flax, and I am using flax or platinum. I think it's flax. And I am using all the called for DMC. And let me see. I feel like I'm moving it around too much. It's so pretty. I don't think I did a very good job ironing, because I did iron all of this stuff. And it all looks very wrinkly to me now. Maybe because it sat here for 2 weeks before I filmed. Beautiful. Again, that one will go away now until the new year. I have to get all my fall and Christmas going. So that one's going to tuck away for a bit. And I think this is my last WIP, which is going to stick around for a bit because it's beautiful. So this is Santa's Patchwork by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. And I absolutely love it. I got this at Stitch North. I kitted it at Stitch North. It was an exclusive for Stitch North, or I'm sorry, for Evertote. It wasn't exclusive through Evertote. I think it's available now though. The pattern is available, and I'm sure Evertote probably still has it on their website as a kit. I picked my own fabric. It's a Roxy Floss One of a Kind. So it's kind of like, I don't know if it's really a misdye or it just didn't turn out the way that they thought it would. And I'm using the Roxy Floss Floss conversion, and I love it. This is my first time with either. I did kit up another project that I'll start in the winter when I was there. I absolutely love, this is the most fun project. Their fabric is gorgeous. This is a 36 count. Their floss is like amazing. Like I would absolutely convert, I would 100% convert other Roxy Floss fabric and floss. I love it. So this one will stay out because it's Christmas, and I'd like to get it finished this year. We'll see. I'd like to get a lot of stuff done, but we'll see. So here is my ring of my messy. I'm so messy. This is why I never show my floss. This is my Roxy ring. It's beautiful. It's messy because I'm messy. It comes to you just beautifully organized. And it's so nice. I love it. I love this project. This is probably one of my favorite things I'm stitching. And we started that actually, our table, not the whole table. I think half of our table started it. There was 4 of us that started that at Stitch North, and we got to meet Lori, who is the designer, which was super fun. And we have a picture of her, like us with, you know, her and the pattern. English apparently isn't, I'm not great with English today. So that was really fun. She's super, super sweet, and lives relatively close-ish to the Toronto area. So it was really fun to meet her. It was just fun. If you go to Stitch North, you should go because it's super fun. Okay, so what is next on my, I have some haul, I have some plans. So I did participate, the 2 base stitchers and Karen, who is the Stitching Owl here on Flosstube and on Instagram, they did a Canada swaps. And so it was a smalls swaps, and I did participate. I had a ton of fun. It was super fun. I have a picture and I don't know if I can insert it, but if I can figure it out, I will. I did the Peacock Manor by Pansy Patch and Quilts and Stitchery. So we were supposed to do a Canadian designer. That was the plan. And to finish it, I finished mine into a little tiny pillow, and I received, so I'll show you what I received, and I'm going to show you the beautiful little card that I received. That was the wrong card. Pretty card, but not the right card. Oh, did I save the card? Oh no, did I save the card? I had to have saved the card. Yes, I did. Okay. So her name is Carmen, and she's from Manitoba. So she was who got me as the swap. And I'm going to show you this because it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Look at it. So it is Jeanette Douglas Budding Bouquet. On 32 count chocolate milk fabrics by Stephanie. Look at it. It's so pretty. And then I was feeling like a little like, I don't think I finished mine as nice. Like I am not, this is beautiful. Like it's like so poofy. It's so pretty. I don't know what's in here. Like if it's just like, it feels like just batting. Like it doesn't feel like it's like anything else. It is absolutely beautiful. It is beautiful. And it has this cute little 2024. It's gorgeous. I love it so much. And it has this like little, like where do you get this? Like, how do you make that? Can you make that? Can someone tell me? Like, do I buy that somewhere? The little beading, cording? I love it. And I think it's glued. It's beautiful. It's so, like, I feel like it turned out so much nicer than mine. Like it did, it 100%. And then I felt a little bit bad. So now I don't know if I want to do it again. Even though it's gorgeous, I feel like my finishing isn't really up to par. But anyway, it's absolutely spectacularly beautiful. She sent me this beautiful, I have a pen there, which I shouldn't have. She sent me this really, really sweet little thing with like a little pair of scissors and some of these little magnet things, which I use all the time, and a little, words are a problem for me today. Now I feel like my camera's crooked. Did I knock my camera? Measuring tape, which is fantastic. It's so, so sweet. And there was this really pretty pin. Where'd the pin go? There was oh no, I lost the pin. Oh no, there's this beautiful pin that she had. See? Okay, that's gonna go down there. Oh, I lost the pin. Oh no. There was like this really pretty, like one of those stitch marker pins. Oh dear. Oh, Alana. Oh dear, now everything's falling. Okay, we don't need that either. Where did I put the pin? Uh-oh, I'm going to find it as soon as I finish filming. Okay, I'm going to put this over here in case I find that. Anyway, that was Canada Swaps. If you are Canadian, they are planning on doing it again. I want to say, I have something, like, I feel like I have hair or something. I do, I can feel it on my hand. I think they're going to do it again in the new year. They're not going to do it before Christmas, but I think they're going to do it again in the new year. So if you are Canadian, I will, like, I'll mention it again if they are doing it or when they're doing it, but it won't be until, like, I think they were thinking March. But it was super fun. It was really fun. And then Karen, who is the Stitching Owl on YouTube, she did a little, like, compilation, like, video of everybody's finishes, which was really nice to watch. It was pretty quick. It was like a 5-minute or something. Okay, that's that. Now I'm going to go into haul a little bit, I think. And then I'll do giveaway. And then I'll do plans. Does this sound? Okay, we're going to go with that. Okay, so haul. I ordered a bunch of stuff from Anne, who is Knowledge and Needles. She lives in Brighton, Ontario. She does have a website, but I tend to just email her what I need. So I get a lot of my threads from Anne, and some patterns too. Like if there's anything, especially the new releases that are coming out with Market and stuff. She does have an in-person store. Its hours do vary a little bit. So I would always email. She's very, very, very quick to respond. She does have a Facebook page, and it's called Knowledge and Needles. She will ship, as far as I know, anywhere. But if you are, specifically if you are a Canadian, I find her thread prices amazing. All of her prices are amazing. But for if you need specialty threads, like, absolutely, she's the spot to go, 100%. I will link her store below. But this is, so I'll show you what I ordered. I ordered just a bunch of okay. There's no nice way to show. So I ordered a whole bunch of thread, like a whole bunch of thread. Like the poor woman, I sent her this massive list, and there was only like 3 that she did not have. So I ordered those from 123Stitch because I threw in an order for that too. Some of them I have already taken away because they were for my fall, feels like fall start. So here's just my giant chunk of thread. These are mostly for, oh, and then there's a little tiny bit that there was 3 that I had to order from 123Stitch. These are mostly for this. So if you have followed me, you know that I have been working on stitching the Brenda Gervais sampler of the seasons. I have all 4 of them. And I went to pull out fall. I wanted to start, they're all in one big bag that was lovingly gifted to me. So I went to start fall, and these are the threads that I have in fall. That's it. Because I have a decent start on fall, but I think I was borrowing between them all. And then I went just to work on, oh, I do not have a decent start on fall. I have the tiniest start on earth on fall. I am stitching this on. Let's see what I'm stitching it on. It's Fiber on a Whim, Milk and Honey. Love Milk and Honey. Milk and Honey is fantastic. This is my ittiest bittiest start. But I went to work on it because it's fall and, you know, I work seasonally. And the apple cider that I had been working on, this is a completely different color. I just grabbed one of the random ones I had in here because I have I have floss freaking everywhere in this bag. And so I decided to bite the bullet and individually kit each of these up. So I have fall in here. I have them all in here. See? Let's see, like this is, look at this. This is a little embarrassing. So this is, what is this? Spring. So spring I have fully kitted. Why I kitted some of them and didn't kit others. So I went through them. Here's winter, because that'll start on next. And I have kitted winter. So I went through summer and autumn, which seems to be the ones that I was borrowing against. And I went through everything that I'll need. And I just ordered it. And yes, it was expensive. And yes, I was a little bit like, because they aren't the biggest pieces. But one of the, I kind of like to get them, I'd love to get them finished because they're gorgeous. But I'd like to get them finished and then be able to like have a bit of a stash of all of these fancy flosses. So now I have everywhere. I have not gone through and done it and organized it. I will probably do that one day this week. I don't work a ton this week. So I am hoping to get all of that done. And have it properly kitted and ready to go so that I can grab, like, I don't think I'll work on fall now because I have a bunch of fall stuff I want to start, and I probably won't start the winter one until the actual until after Christmas. I have too many Christmas things that I want to get done this year, or at the very least started this year. But that was sort of my floss haul. Again, Anne is who you want to order all your floss from. If you are Canadian, she will ship. I don't know if she ships to the States, but she 100% ships all over the place in Canada. So sometimes it's hard to source like Canadian because the shipping's expensive, and then sometimes you pay duty and it's like a whole thing. The other things I ordered from Anne were the rest of Blueberry Ridge Design, who is a Canadian designer. It was the rest of her sampler seasons. So here is summer. Now I don't know what colors I'll do them in. I don't know what I'm going to do them on. And here is, which one's this one? Winter. It says right on it. My winter and spring. And I'm telling you right now, I won't do spring and pink for sure, because pink is just not my color, but I think spring would be pretty in the green actually. And we'll skip ahead a little bit because I did order another autumn to do as a giveaway. So maybe I'll just plug that in right now because it makes the most sense. So this is going to be the giveaway. This was my birthday start this year, and I had grand plans to do this in time for my birthday start, and obviously didn't, but I'm going to do it anyway because you can start it at any time. It is a beautiful pattern. It is brand new. Normally I don't do that. It's usually like my past the stash patterns. And so if you would like to enter this giveaway, please be 18. I will have to ask you for your address. You have to be a subscriber to the channel, like the video, this video, and use the word autumn in your comment. And I will send that out. On my next video, I will pull like the automatic generator or whatever. I will do that for the next video. So those are the patterns that I have that I will be kitting up for the future. It won't happen until after the new year. But so I have those. So that was my little stash from Anne, which was wonderful. And she did get it to me in lots of time for me to do that video, and I didn't. So in order for me to do this as a giveaway, she really did, and I didn't. So my apologies for that, but you can start at any time. Okay. The rest of my haul was, I bought this stuff after I made my This is those crushed, what is this? Crushed nut, ground nut shells. I hear people that use these in their pillows. I bought some. My husband laughed at me. He's like, why do you want ground nuts? And I was like, well, apparently they're good for making pillows. So we're going to try. I have a few things I'd like to make into a pillow. That won't happen by the next video. I'm going to tell you right now. That probably won't happen until the new year. But anyway, I picked those up because it was Amazon Prime days here, and I just threw them in my cart. So we'll see. If you like them, let me know. It seems like a really small package for like the 20 bucks that I paid for it. I was expecting it to be like this big package. To be fair, I didn't read how much was in it. I just ordered it. I do that. Okay, so here's I'm going to put this here. I'm going to shimmy some of this stuff over here, and we're going to go over the rest of my Alana. Okay, so that was my Ann haul. I did order from 123. Everything now is from 123 Stitch. I did order the Nerd hoops are my favorite, and I did order a tiny one because I found when I was working on those little ornaments, this is number 1. And the number 2 is my favorite size. And I don't have one here to show you. But I found for the little ornaments, this would have been nice to have. So I did pick up one of these. I don't have this. I now have all the sizes. I have a couple of the one size bigger than this, and it's my favorite. I'm just going to put this down here. Okay. And I bought patterns. So I don't know how I'm going to show all of these to you. So next year, next September, 2025, I turned 50. It's my 50th birthday. I am not doing 50 new starts like many people do. I can't do that. I just can't. Like, that would freak me out. But what I am going to do for it's going to be my New Year start, as well as like my 50th like year start, I guess. I have wanted to do this forever and ever and ever. And it is going to be the Anniversaries of the Heart, which is the Blackbird Designs Anniversaries of the Heart. It is actually, I saw that somewhere, and it is the pattern that actually got me back into stitching after having like a little stitching hiatus since like the early 2000s. So, and for whatever reason, I never did it. I got into all these other things, and I never did kit it. So I thought, my 50th year, I'm going to do this pattern. I'm so excited. So I did have one already that someone had sent me, the October one. I did have the fall one. So I ordered, I'm going to show them to you. And now they're out of order, so I apologize. So these are them. I am going to stitch them in a big, I don't have fabric yet. And I don't know what I'm going to use for the fabric. I'm thinking like milk and honey or cream and sugar, because I feel like those are like super great neutrals. But I am going to Hobby House, and so I'll see what I see there. I don't know. So I did order them all the patterns, and I am doing them differently. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm doing them out of order. And I'm skipping some of them. I'm not doing them all. I'm going to do, this is the one that someone had sent me. I am not doing the winter one. I'm not doing January. I'm just going to show them to you really quickly, because there's no really nice way to show these in one big group. I didn't like the first one. I didn't like that the border was white, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I get strange about stuff. And so I actually don't think I'm going to do all of these either. So my plan, my plan is to do, hang on, I'm going to do 3 across. So 3, 3, 1, and then there is a pattern. Number 2, because they're all labeled. So like this is pattern number 6. I feel like I'm explaining this poorly. So where pattern 12 comes with a bonus pattern on the back. And I really, really I love that one. That is absolutely my favorite. So my plan is to do like 3 in a row, 3 in a row, 1, and then the long one that'll take up 2 spaces. I hope that makes sense. I have seen it done, and I wish I had it on my iPad because I could show it to you, and I don't know where my iPad is, and I'm on my phone, so I can't show it to you on my phone. I have decided not, I think it's supposed to be 4 across, and the bottom is like 2, and then the long one, and I am going to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to have 1 for me and my husband. I'm going to have 1 for each of my kids, and then I'm going to have 1. The 2 grandkids are born. 2 of my grandkids are both born in July, and then my daughter-in-law and her daughter and my granddaughter are both born in September. So I'm going to double them up, I think. I'm working on it. I'm still working on it. I might end up doing something a little bit different because I've been kind of mapping it out. So I may end up buying, I have every pattern except the first pattern because I just didn't love how wintry it looked compared to the rest of them. And there is another bonus pattern, but it's sort of just an alphabet. So I think that's what, I think I'm going to make it smaller. And then have each of the kids, each of my children will have one, and then each of the grandchildren. I think that is enough. And then one for like me and my husband, because we started the family. We get our own. And then the big one, well, that'll have like my name on it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm still sourcing out what I want to use for fabric. I'm pretty sure, as far as I know, I'll just use the called for, floss. Sorry. I got looking at it and then I was like, oh, I'm still filming. It's all specialty. It does all have a DMC conversion, but I suspect that I will use that. I'll kit it. I think I'll kit it with the specialty floss and go from there because I love it. So I might change some of the house colors. I have a tendency to do that. I just do. So we'll see. That's my plan. As of now, that's my plan. That is going to be my January 1st start, and it's going to carry the whole year. I'm hoping to have it finished all in 1 year. They aren't super big. There's a lot of it, but they aren't really super big. Actual, like the patterns themselves are, does it give you a stitch count? Let's see. Hang on. Let me look without showing everybody the pattern. Hang on. So the design size, the entire collection, I'm not doing the entire collection, is 187 by 261. This is 75 by 85. Okay, so basically it's a 5 by 5 and a bit. So not too big, like this big. Not like this big. So I'm hoping to get it done in a year. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but that is my January 1st start. So if anybody wants to start it with me, let me know. I would love to have someone stitching along with me to do this. This would be so fun. And yeah, so that was sort of my big haul. That was my big plans for that. My New Year's new start. And I did then make a really spontaneous like purchase that I just thought was the cutest thing ever, and I just bought it. And that is the Treehouse by, who is this, Cottage Garden Sampling. So this is part of a series. Like they have like, I think they have 12. I don't know if all 12 have been released, but I saw this here. Let me take it out of the plastic. And I thought it was the freaking cutest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, well, I have to buy that too. And I just randomly, like I don't know. I just did. I just randomly bought it. How freaking adorable. So I think I'm going to stitch this. Who knows when I'll stitch it. I'll probably stitch it in the spring or start it in the spring. But yeah, I thought that would be really cute in the kids' room or like in the playroom. I thought that would be adorable. I have no intention of stitching any of the other houses. I'm sorry if you can hear my door opening and shutting. This door in my room doesn't close all the way. So I like have something in front of it to try to keep it closed, and it keeps going because I've got the windows open. So the wind, so my apologies if you can hear my door opening and closing. Okay. So the last thing that I got was some fabric, and if you follow me, you know, I don't have a ton of stash. I don't keep a big stash of fabric, but I bit the bullet and picked up a couple of things, potentially for, what was the one I just said? Anniversaries of the Heart, but now I don't know if they're big enough. So this is my cream and sugar because I just love it. I just love this. I could stitch most things on cream and sugar and be perfectly happy. I love it. I love the 40 count. It's a little tight, but I really like how my stitches look on the 40 count. And so I picked this up at, oh, I thought someone was knocking. It's my husband banging things. I picked this up at 1, 2, 3 Stitch. I also picked up another piece of Ren 40 count just because, again, it's just one of those, like, you can stitch so many things on it. It's so nice. Like, I really, really like it. And it's just kind of nice to have those just generally neutrally, like I really like this for fall stuff. I just really like that. So I picked up some of that. And then I actually picked up this is the Country Mocha and a 40 count. because I like this one. I know not everybody likes the country mocha, but I do. I just think it, like, a lot of samplers look really nice on it. And it's inexpensive in comparative to other linens. And I like the modeling. Now, it is the type that has, and I'm sure there's a name for it that I'm not going to know, but so the other half of it is not modeled at all. Here, that's not the best way to show you, but and it's nice. Like, it's a really nice neutral. Like, I feel like a lot of stuff looks good on country mocha. So I picked up a big chunk of that in the 40 count. I am actually stitching, oh, what was that new Brenda Gervais? I don't remember, on the 36 count, and I find it a little loose, the 36. So I picked up a chunk of 40, and it was like, I think it was like $18. Like, you can't really beat that for such a big piece of 40 count. And so that is my stash, not my stash. That is my haul. That is my haul. Oh, I have one more thing. I fibbed. I have one more thing that I bought, and I'm super, super excited about it. I bought one of these. So if you watch Handmade by Sarah W., I'm sure other people have it too, but, and it says September 13th. That, see, I was going to film a lot earlier, and this is, I didn't even change the date. So this is by, I'm going to link it. It's like paisley and polka dots, I want to say. And I bought, so this is, you can buy stuff to go in it on their site. I bought the little block. This is specifically meant for cross stitching. So if you watch Handmade by Sarah W., she always has it behind her in her videos. Well, now she doesn't because she broke her ankle. And so now she's not in her regular spot. Go watch some of her old videos. And she has stitched. So you stitch it, you put this in here. Look at this, it's not great. And then you attach your stitching to this and it kind of pops out a little bit. I loved it. As soon as I saw it, I absolutely loved it. They do ship to Canada. I did have this shipped to the States. So I live very close to the American border, and I had it shipped to the States because when I went to order it in Canadian, it did said it was subject to duties, and I wasn't really sure what that was going to amount to. And because I live close enough to the border, and the shipping was much cheaper, I just shipped it there, but they do ship to Canada. So I have this. And then I bought it, and I kind of was racking my brain on what I would like to put in it. So Sarah has she has like a Quaker, I don't know, and I'm going to forget whose it is, but it's a monthly Quaker, and they fit perfectly. But I know me, and I'm not going to stitch something in there every month because I'm just not, I'll never get it finished. But what I do have, and I have had for a couple of years, are these. Who are these? Waxing Moon Designs. I have, this is the Winter House Trio. And if I do it, I think on 32 count, this one of them will fit perfectly. Can you see that? Is it too glary? It'll fit perfect in here. Now, I think it's going to be a little bit, because I don't think it's going to be quite long enough for the bottom. But I was thinking that I could just finish it and put something little on the bottom, right? Like, you're going to need to put like the fabric around it, and you'll kind of make it like, it won't be perfect. It'll probably be closer to this size, but by the time you finish it with a background fabric and put some like rickrack or something around it, I think it's going to be perfect. And so then I went snooping about. I already had the winter house, and I already had the summer house. I don't remember buying this. I even have, I had it like almost kitted. And I like the fact that it's like winter, summer, and of course they have spring and fall as well. And I thought that's going to be kind of nice because then I don't have to change it. So then I got snooping around for these. I haven't bought any more because I already owned these. Well, they have all kinds. They have barns. They have critters, I think they call them. They have this really cute owl that says like October on the bottom. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I will start with winter because I already have it. And I will start with winter, and I will do the one that says winter because I think it would be cuter. I won't do them all. And then I'm going to see how it fits, and then I'm going to go from there. But they have quite a few collections that fit, that are the trios that I think would fit in there really, really, really cute. So that's what I'm going to try. I really like the barn. They have a red barn one. I think it's for fall, and I really, really liked that. So I think I might do that instead of the house for fall, but we're going to see. If you just Google Waxing Moon, there's lots and lots and lots. And they do have, like, they had that little owl that said October, but like their July was like, patriotic. So some stuff I wouldn't get, but then I could just do like for the summer, I can just do the summer house, because how pretty is the summer house? It's so pretty. So we'll see. That is my plan for that, for my calendar. I will link below the link for that and this. Like, I think this was like $6 to buy the little block that went in it. And this was like, I want to say it was like 24. I could be wrong. It wasn't outrageous. Even in Canadian, it wasn't outrageous. It's really, really cute. It comes with all the tiles you need to change your dates. I loved it. I thought it was super cute. Like, I've been looking and looking and looking. Every time Sarah does a video, I was like, I really need to get that. And I finally bit the bullet, and I did. I got it. So that'll be another project that I'll start in the new year. I won't do that now because it's going to be Christmas season. My favorite. Okay, so plans, and then I'll get into the winner of the last giveaway, and then I think I'm done. So plans. So I am going to, these are just going to be the plans for the next couple of weeks, because I do think I'm going to try to film after my hobby house trip. Going to hobby house, not this week, next week. And there's a few things that I plan to either start and or kit while I'm there. The first one, and I don't have a picture of it, but I feel like a lot of people have seen it, is the Dasher and Dancer. So it is their hobby house press pattern. They do it. So I really want to buy it there because I think it'd be kind of fun. I don't have any fabric picked for that, so I think I probably will pick there. But I did, when I was at Stitch North, pick up a yard, a hank, it's 50 yards, it's called Ruby Whisper, and it is hand dyed by Rolanda. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying that. I feel like it's not really showing up either. Here, let me grab some. This isn't the fabric I'm going to use. This is a Rolanda fabric though. Actually, maybe I am. That's pretty. I like that. What is this? This is 40 count iced coffee by hand dyed by Rolanda. Actually, that's quite lovely. I had that earmarked for something else, but okay. Well, maybe. Anyway, I feel like you cannot see the variegation well. It's very variegated. It's lovely. It's like a lovely red burgundy variegation. Is that better? I don't think my light is spectacular this way. It is lovely, and it's very variegated, which is what I wanted for that. Super, super nice. So that is the one thing I'm going to purchase. One thing that I'm planning on starting while I'm there that I have kit is the Butternut Pin Keep, Butternut House Pin Keep by Stacey Nash. And that was actually the fabric that I had tucked in there. It's all DMC, except I changed the house color because I like a variegated house. So I chose gold leaf for the house. And now I'm thinking, actually, this is a pretty big chunk of fabric. They both might fit on that. I don't know how, oh, maybe not. No, it's not as big as I thought. Oh, I like that fabric so much. I really like her stuff. I don't know what to do. Oh, there might be a fabric change somewhere along the line. We'll worry about that when we get there. So yeah, so I am planning on starting that. That's going to be my hobby house, like, start, I guess. And it's a little bit fall-y, which I think is going to be fun. I have no notions that I'm going to complete that this year, but I am going to start it. We are there for 2 days and 2 nights, so I'm hoping to get a good amount of stitching done. And then I will bring this with me and either pick a fabric, or, because I don't think I'm going to use, like, I don't think I want to use like this. Like, I don't want to do that. I want a more, I actually really like the iced coffee. I might switch. And the other thing that I'm going to kit while I'm there, or I shouldn't say kit, that I'm going to find fabric for while I'm there, is also a Stacey Nash, and it is Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. I will start this year. I don't know if I'm going to start it while I'm at Hobby House. I'm not sure if I'll really like truly have time to do that. 3 new starts seems like a lot for me. And it was all Gentle Arts, so I did actually kit it. It's not on a pretty floss ring or anything. I'll have to make it look pretty. So I did, here, let me take it out. That looks awful. So I did kit the last time I was at Wool Time. I got all of these. They had a little stitching day. And so I did get all of these. This is not like the best way to, let's see. I really need to, okay. I'll show you better next time. And the called for is a fabric that I don't think exists anymore. Mink by R&R. And to be honest, I don't love it when it's got the big chunks of like modeling in there. That is just not my thing. and that's okay. Like everybody likes something different. So I do think that I am going to try to find a fabric while I'm there for that. Unless I end up using, no, I don't think I'm going to use any of the other stuff that I have here. So yes, so I will take that with me. I will take the butternut pin keep with me. I will take the hand-dyed by Romonda thread with me. And put this back in my bag. I did this bag too. There we go. This is one of my bags. And I'll take that with me. I'm going to put this over here because I'm going to start a little, and I will most likely take all my fabric that I have. I do have a few more pieces. I think I'll just take everything with me and see what I end up wanting to do. Just because I don't know, and I don't know what kind of fabric will be there, and I don't know what I'll end up wanting to buy. Probably everything. I do know that this weekend is like the Great British, like Nicola Parkman and stuff is there this weekend with Brenda and Laura and all the fancy people. And I think that would have been fun. But we were on our Zoom call and we're like, I hope they don't buy out the whole store. Like, I hope they have stuff when we go in 2 weeks. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. So yeah, so that is my plan for Hobby House. And my plan for the rest of the month is just to get my fall stuff done. Like those 4 I want finished, completely finished. Finished stitching. I don't have any grand plans to fully finish anything right now, as much as I would kind of like to. I may, because I do have the next couple of weeks, I've got a fair bit of time off just because of how my schedule is working with my new job. Like it just ended up that way. I had a bunch of training stuff I was supposed to be doing that they don't need me to do now because I don't need to train because I'm already trained for my new position. And anyway, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to start and get organized. I think though I am working Christmas Day, which is weird. This will be the first time ever in my literal whole life that I've ever had to work Christmas Day. I've done a lot of Christmas Eves and I've done a lot of Boxing Days. Never actually had to work Christmas Day. So this will be new for me. But I mean, my kids are old. They're not going to care. And it's like double time. So, hey, I'll just go with it. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. I'm going to take this off the wall here gently so you can see it a little bit more up close. So this is Little House Neighborhood. I did change the spelling of neighborhood to give it a Canadian spelling because it bothered me. I didn't think I could put it on my wall with the American spelling. And here it is. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. I'll show the frame a little bit more close up. I don't know. I feel like the light isn't great now. I feel like I'm losing some light here. It was framed. I didn't put glass in it. It's the first time I've ever framed anything I haven't put glass in. So I did have it framed at Michael's. It did cost me $120. I'll just tell people flat out because I feel like we want to know that before you go bringing stuff in. I didn't think it was that bad. I was kind of expecting it to be more. I hadn't done one day. They did a stitch day at Wool Tyme, and somebody was talking about how they had something framed and it was like $800. And she almost died. And I was like, I too would die. Now it was like glass and it was like matted and it had more to it than this for sure. But I did go when they had their like 70% off custom framing, which I feel like happens pretty much all of the time. And I would 100%, I actually have a little stash of stuff that I plan on taking and just having them framed because I don't seem to be doing anything of my own. I don't seem to be framing anything, even though I had plans, and I do have some frames. So I just don't ever seem to, I feel like whenever I get the time, I just want to stitch. Like I don't want to finish. And so I kind of wish I wanted to finish more. Like I kind of wish that was more of my thing. I do have a few that I have frames for that I'm going to try to finish. I have the foam board. I have everything. Like I've bought everything to frame my own things. But it just feels like I have an afternoon free and I just want to stitch. I don't want to fiddle with it, I guess. But we'll see. We'll see if in the next little bit that I manage to get, we'll see. I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I do have a few things. Like I'm going to take Fall on the Farm to them. And a couple of other bigger pieces that I feel like The little ones are one thing, but I think because Fall on the Farm is a square too, and I haven't managed to find a frame that I think would fit it. And I know me, and I'm not going to go thrifting frames and cutting them down. Like, I'm just not. It's so pretty when people do it. They find such neat stuff, but that is just, it's just not me. I'm not a thrifter, and I'm not going to fiddle with a frame and cut it down and make it look gorgeous, because people can do it and make it look absolutely beautiful. So pretty. I can't. It's not that I can't, I don't want to. It's just not my thing. Okay. Oh, the winner. So I was going to say last week. It wasn't last week. It was like 2 months ago. Autumn Rules was my giveaway. And I did pick a winner, not till today, because I filmed today. And the winner is Farmer Dye Stitches. That is your handle on YouTube. Farmer Dye Stitches. So if you can send me an email or message me on Instagram, my email, it will be linked below. It is Mrs.SmithStitches Flosstube@gmail.com. Please email me. I will send that out to you this week. Absolutely. I'll mail that out to you as soon as I can. And the giveaway for this week, use the word autumn. Where did I put it? I lost it already. Oh, here it is. And it is the Blueberry Ridge Designs Autumn Sampler Seasons. And so do that. So Farmer Dye Stitches, message me, and I will send that out to you as soon as I get any of your information back. Everybody else who wants to be into the next one, please use the word autumn in your comment. And I think that's it for me. I don't think I have anything else to show you today. Thank you all so much for sticking around. It ended up being kind of a long video. I guess that's what happens when you only film like every couple of months. I will see you shortly. My plan... Best plans. My plan is to see you shortly after my my big trip to Hobby House, and I'll show you all the goodies, and hopefully I have a bunch of fall finishes to show you, because that is my plan. I'm going to buckle down and get that done. I want to thank all of you so much for watching, and for liking and subscribing, and for commenting and reaching out. It's really fun. It's fun to chat with everybody, and I do really, really appreciate it. All the support has been so lovely. It's such a wonderful community that we have here. Even just like meeting up with people that we meet at these events, or you meet online. It's really fun. Like, I've just had such a positive experience with making new friends and just sharing our love of stitching with other people. A lot of us don't have a lot of people in our day-to-day lives that are stitchers, and so this has been a really awesome experience for me, and I'm super, super excited about my trip to see all of my Stitch North friends. And thank you so much. I am going to stop the video here. I think I don't have anything else left. I hope everybody, if you are celebrating Thanksgiving this weekend, have a very, very, very happy Thanksgiving. And to everybody else, I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks and get a lot of stitching in, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.